você! Vamos para mais continuidades dessa jogatina aqui de Horizon Forbidden West. No vídeo anterior, tínhamos despertado ela, Gaia. Aquele computador, né? Aquele programa de computador, aquela inteligência artificial que parece que vai ajudar a Aloy a restaurar tudo, né, no mundo de Horizon. A coisa tá esquisita. A coisa tá muito esquisita. A história caminha para um outro patamar. Mas vamos lá. Vamos dar continuidade.
Hello, Aloy.
Hi. So you're ready?
Yes. Initialization is complete. All tests show that my heuristic matrix launched correctly and is stable. You must have many questions.
Yeah. But two big ones first.
Bem, Gaia restaurou suas forças e agora eu posso perguntar sobre as funções subordinadas. Nossa, parece aula de português. Suas funções subordinadas que ainda faltam serem recuperadas e os estrangeiros que a Aloy encontrou. Isso no vídeo anterior foi até falado. Mas vamos lá, vamos relembrar.
Maybe you can help me make sense of something. A while ago, I had a run-in with a group of strangers who tried to kill me. They had machine servitors and a clone of Elizabeth Sobek.
Yes, this was recorded by your focus.
Do you know who they are?
The answer to that question is related to the extinction signal that woke Hades, prompting my predecessor's self-destruction.
The extinction signal? Okay, that sounds ominous.
The signal did not come from Earth, Aloy.
Parece que o projeto Far Zenith sobreviveu. Foi pra frente.
The calculations are complicated, but it appears to have originated 81 trillion kilometers away. A distance so vast that light itself requires 8.611 years to cross it.
Okay, so what's so far away and why does it want us dead?
The Sirius star system.
Sirius? But that's where Far Zenith, their ship.
The Odyssey.
Yes, that's where it was
A
headed.
Odisseia sobreviveu.
Unless
Eles fizeram uma morte fake de toda aquela colônia. E os humanos conseguiram procriar lá,
they didn't want
no
anyone
sistema
to-
Sirius,
they
sistema
didn't
solar
want future
Sirius.
humans to think that they were out there. Wait. The strangers who tried to kill me at the Hades Proving Lab? The ones with the clone? Are you saying that they're from... that they're descendants of... Far Zenith?
Descendentes de Far Zenith. Ou seja, o grupo que eu encontrei junto com uma clone da própria Aloy e Elizabeth são os descendentes do Far Zenith. Eles sobreviveram e voltaram pra Terra. Mano, pra quê? O cara tá lá trilhões de quilômetros longe e volta pra Terra. Fazer o que aqui?
We're not gonna be able to fix the biosphere without making you whole. I ran a search for your subfunctions at the Hades Proving Lab, but Minerva was the only one I found.
Thankfully, the sensory capabilities of this facility are far more advanced. I will search for the others now. Transmitting query pattern.
Os outros subordinados dela.
Receiving. Of Apollo, Artemis, and Eleuthia, I can find no trace. They are simply gone.
Apolo, Artemis e
What about the
Lúcia
others?
se foram.
Ether,
Só
Demeter,
sobraram
and Poseidon are
3.
removed. They lie within reach, procurable.
Aether, Demétrio e Poseidon. Essas estão ao alcance da Gaia.
And Hephaestus?
E Hephaestus
It too stands revealed, but it is not like the others.
evoluiu.
That's for sure.
In the years since the extinction signal, Hephaestus has evolved. Moreover, it is not confined to a single location. It haunts the global network that connects cauldrons to each other across the planet, making it exceptionally difficult to subdue.
Let me guess. We need it bad?
Correct. Its capabilities are essential. Without it, I can only delay the extinction of life on Earth. Hephaestus is our only hope of a permanent solution.
Ou seja, Hephaestus, dentre os 4 remanescentes, é o único que serve para evitar por completo a morte do planeta. Mas ele se espalhou pelo planeta inteiro.
Grab the other subordinate functions first, then Hephaestus.
Precisely so.
So, Ether, Demeter, and Poseidon. How do I capture them?
To recover a subordinate function, you will have to
Para
travel
capturar
to its
eles,
location
o
and find
Ida,
the physical
Demeter
processor
e
to
Poseidon,
replace
ela
it.
vai ter que ir para cada
Exactly as you
uma
did
das
with
localizações.
You must use
Em
the
resumo,
master
a história do
override
jogo,
to
pelo visto, vai
revert the subordinate
funcionar em
function
cima
to its
disso.
original code state.
And then how do I get it back here?
The subordinate function must be
Vou ter que
loaded
pegar
onto a
por
data storage
vez
device
e
and
trazer de
physically carry
volta
back to this facility.
para essa localidade que ela se encontra.
The cartridge your root kernel was stored on?
Yes. Its capacity is limited, so it can only carry one subordinate function at a time. But in all other respects, it will suffice.
Então eu vou ter que ir em cada localidade, capturar lá o subordinado dela, a função subordinada dela, e trazer de volta. Estilo Zelda aqui. Para quem é fã de Zelda já me ouviu falar muito nos vídeos anteriores, mas é muito cara de Zelda. Agora vamos lá. Algumas perguntas sobre os subordinados. Quanto aos que foram perdidos,
The missing subordinate functions. What can you tell me about them?
Artemis rewilded the Earth with a variety of animal species. Eleuthia was responsible for gestating, nurturing, and acculturating a new generation of human beings. Apollo was tasked with preserving, organizing, and disseminating vast archives of human knowledge and cultural achievements. Unfortunately, all archived Apollo data was purged on the 2nd of February, 2066, by order of Ted Faro.
Apolo
Pharaoh, huh?
se
I really
foi.
hate that guy.
Understandable. He appears to have been
Os outros dois
pathologically
também se
narcissistic,
foram.
impulsive, and unstable.
All 3 of the missing functions have already served their purpose, or were prevented from doing so. Do you still need them?
If attainable, yes. Restoring their remaining elements would increase my heuristic processing density. Unfortunately, I have no way to track them. They have disappeared without a trace.
Então, quanto aos perdidos, os 2 primeiros eram mais responsáveis pela manutenção da vida animal e da flora do planeta. Pô, são tão importantes quanto. Que bosta. O Apolo era o responsável em manter toda a cultura humana, né? Todas as conquistas humanas. Mas esse foi desligado antes mesmo de chegarmos a esse mundo, pelo Ted Faro. Isso é história explicada no primeiro jogo. Agora, os que ela detectou.
The 3 subordinate functions that you detected. What do we know about them?
All 3 are relevant to problems currently plaguing the biosphere. Ether is responsible for detoxifying the atmosphere.
Ether é responsável pela atmosfera.
Poseidon controls
Extremamente
the organic
importante.
and chemical composition of water resources.
Poseidon controla
Demeter
a
sows,
água
fertilizes, and tends to plant
e Demira o solo.
If all 3 were restored to me, they would constitute a massive increase to my heuristic processing density. But beware. Their responses to my query pattern were irregular. In human terms, they are frightened, lost, and paranoid.
Like Minerva. They need to be whole again.
Exactly.
Os três se tornaram paranoicos. São inteligências artificiais que evoluíram. Eu vou ter que ir até eles e convencê-los do jeito que ela fez com a Minerva. Uma coisa bem surreal. A voltarem ao seu código-fonte para poder trazê-los de volta. Agora é Hephaestus.
You said you need Hephaestus to save life from extinction. Why?
Every subordinate function has value, but Hephaestus is by far the most important.
Hephaestus é o mais
Only by recovering
importante.
and merging it can I regain my ability to design and mass-produce new machines at cauldrons across the planet. Only through it can I program new machines and alter the tasking of existing machines to completely reverse environmental damage. Recovering other subordinate functions may buy us time, but without Hephaestus, I cannot permanently stave off mass extinction.
Bem, o que é indicado sobre o Hephaestus é que, através dele, ela cria as máquinas. Essas que a gente vê pelo mundo mesmo. Cada máquina que é criada tem uma função padrão de ajudar a impedir a extinção, fazer o planeta rodar, né? Fazer a vida continuar aqui. Agora a pergunta que eu tenho aqui é por que esperar para pegar logo ele, né? Ele se tornar o último, se ele é o mais importante.
Given Hephaestus's importance, is there really no way to capture and merge it first?
I'm afraid that is quite impossible. In my present state, launched and merged with Minerva, I am operating at less than 1/5, 18.8%, of my intended processing capacity. Hephaestus dwarfs this figure. Were an attempt made to conduct the merge under these circumstances, Hephaestus would absorb me, rather than the other way around. A merge cannot be attempted until my heuristic processing density exceeds its own.
And how many subordinate functions is that going to take?
O que fica explicado é que se tentar partir para o Hephaestus primeiro, a Gaia sofreria as chances de ser absorvida pelo Hephaestus em vez dele ser absorvido por ela. A capacidade dela tem que crescer para poder, só assim, ser capaz de absorver o Hephaestus. E por isso tem que absorver os outros três. Ou seja, é uma coisa bem Zelda mesmo. Vou ter que rodar para o Aether, Demeter e Poseidon, né? Capturar os outros três para aumentar a capacidade neural dela. E aí sim ser capaz de absorver Hephaestus. Porque Hephaestus é o mais poderoso no momento. Agora, como pegá-lo, né?
Correct. Unlike the other subordinate functions which are confined to discrete physical processors, Hephaestus is distributed throughout the global network that connects the planet's cauldrons.
O Hephaestus parece que é armazenado em nuvem.
I do not know. While you are retrieving the procurable subordinate functions, I will attempt to find a solution.
Enquanto eu estiver procurando pelos outros, ela vai procurar uma forma de prender Hephaestus em um lugar só. Agora, uma outra pergunta que é interessante. Os Zeniths, esses outros humanos que vieram do planeta Sirius, né? Sistema Sirius lá, que são mais evoluídos, será que ele me ajudaria a impedir esses Zeniths?
So, once Hephaestus has been recovered and merged, you'll regain the capacity to mass-produce machines at cauldrons around the world.
Yes, and to program their behavioral routines, or even control them directly.
So could you build an army of machines? Attack the descendants of Far Zenith and take them out?
It is in my nature to take any and all necessary steps to preserve life on Earth, human life above all. So yes, once I have been empowered with the capacities of Hephaestus, I could design, build, and command such an army. Given the nature of the Far Zenith threat, Doing so may be our only option. I must admit, however, that I have misgivings about using such technology to kill, no matter how aggressive the enemy.
That's good. It means you have a conscience. As Elizabeth intended.
Indeed.
Bem, é explicado que, uma vez que ela tiver com Hephaestus, ela pode construir um exército de máquinas para lutar ao lado de Eloy e ajudar a derrubar os Zeniths. Só que ela tem consciência de não matar, né? Então ela tem essa vontade de não querer fazê-lo. Mas uma vez que é colocada a vida humana da Terra em risco, ela é capaz de tomar toda a medida necessária para impedir que a vida se acabe. Pois é. Agora os Zeniths, né? O plano deles.
The sole purpose of the signal was to destroy life on Earth, right? Why would descendants of Far Zenith want to do that?
At this point, we can only speculate.
I mean, Earth posed no threat to them. We don't have the technology to get in their way. We didn't even know about them.
True.
Unless... well... could it be that they want the planet for themselves? The strangers I ran into, they were after a Gaia backup of their own. I mean, if they did that... if they booted their own Gaia and boosted her power... until she could take control of Hephaestus. And then the whole terraforming system.
Then yes, the system could be used to do what the extinction signal failed to accomplish. Snuff out life, and then potentially to build an entirely new biosphere. To their specifications.
So they could be trying to do the same thing we are.
But with opposite results.
Extinction. Instead of salvation. Well, this is not good.
Bem, o que fica claro é que os Zeniths querem também a mesma coisa que a Eloy, só que do jeito deles. Vão matar todos aqui para reconstruir o planeta ao modo deles. E como eles chegaram aqui, né?
Really far from Earth.
81 trillion kilometers, or 8.611 light years.
Right. So, how would the descendants have gotten here?
On a spacecraft much like the Odyssey, though significantly more advanced. The journey from Earth to Sirius would have taken the Odyssey almost 300 years. This appears to have been much
A jornada de volta teria 300 anos na Odisseia.
At the same moment the extinction signal first began transmitting. The journey was made in just 29 years at an average of 0.297 the speed of light. If they did not set out for Earth until they learned of the extinction signal's failure, the journey was even faster. A mere 13 years, or 0.662 the speed of light.
Okay, enough. You're making my head spin.
O que deu a entender é que se houve o sinal de extinção do primeiro jogo, esses caras vieram aqui extremamente rápidos. O
The
clone.
descendants I ran into at the Hades Proving Lab, they had a clone of Elizabeth Sobek. So that's consistent with the idea that they came here to salvage Zero Dawn technologies, right?
Yes. As your own experience demonstrates, a clone of Elizabeth Sobek functions in effect as a key to the terraforming system.
But how could they have made a clone?
The Odyssey carried approximately 200,000 human zygotes, millions of animal zygotes.
Os caras clonaram a Elizabeth Sobek.
Sobek's genetic material was sampled, with or without her knowledge, and carried aboard the ship in storage.
That's
Eles deviam já ter pouco do material genético dela.
this clone. How could she participate in this? Destroying Elizabeth's dream? It's evil.
It is difficult to know. Perhaps she is loyal to the group and shares their objectives. Or perhaps she is a subordinate and has no choice but to comply with their orders.
Elizabeth Sobek, a subordinate? I don't think so.
Parece que esse clone não tem muita consciência também, né? O que dá a entender é isso. O sinal e outras funções
The extinction signal
subordinadas.
didn't just wake Hades. It made every subordinate function self-aware. Why?
I have wondered this myself. So far as I can tell, Hades was the sole target, and the partial sentience imparted to other subordinate functions was incidental.
So the signal could only have been sent by someone who had thorough knowledge of the system, huh?
Yes. The signal's design was exceptionally precise and highly advanced. Were its intentions less malevolent, I would admire the intellect or intellects that produced it.
O sinal de extinção não deixou só o Hades consciente, todas as outras funções subordinadas também. Agora a tecnologia dos Farzin.
Came to Earth on a spaceship. I guess we can assume that their technology is powerful in all sorts of ways, right?
Yes, as your encounter with them at the Proving Lab amply demonstrates, they appear to make extensive use of robotic servitors. Further, they seem to be equipped with some kind of protective energy field that shields them from harm.
Yeah, no kidding. The one I fought seemed indestructible.
Throughout history, every defensive technology has eventually been defeated by an offensive counterpart. For example, assuming I absorbed Hephaestus and utilized it to create a large force of combat machines. No shielding could withstand such an assault indefinitely.
So there's hope.
Always.
Bem, o que dá a entender é que a tecnologia deles é mais avançada. Eles têm controle de algumas máquinas e um escudo protetor. Mas se a Gaia recuperar os poderes dela, né, a capacidade dela de produção de máquinas de combate, eles não vão ser capazes de resistir.
How did you figure out that the
Agora o
extinction
sinal.
signal came from Sirius?
The key came with data on your focus, from Silent's interrogation of Hades. The duration of the signal itself, 17.22 years.
That doesn't make sense. You said that the signal took 8.6 years to arrive from Sirius. Why would the signal keep transmitting after it was received and you blew yourself up?
Because the sender didn't know that had happened until it received notice from Hades.
Which would take another 8.6 years to get back.
Correct. Only then would the sender stop broadcasting, after a total of 17.22 years. So the duration, halved, gave me the distance the signal traveled. With that in mind, I simply scanned my astronomical database for any relevant location 8.6 light-years away. Because it was Far Zenith's intended destination, Sirius was the only logical source.
Ela agiu de uma maneira bem matemática para entender que o sinal, né, que ela conseguiu captar, que era de Sirius, o planeta que a Odisseia foi, porque, enfim, foi uma maneira muito lógica e matemática para entender esse lance todo e concluir que veio do planeta onde a humanidade havia tentado se refugiar e que conseguiu se refugiar. Mas eu tenho a sensação que tem mais nessa história. Eles não vieram para cá só para reformular o planeta Terra, a visão deles. Para mim, o planeta onde eles estão também está em perigo. Todo vilão tem uma motivação, então sou eu aqui conjecturando. Alguma coisa rolou.
What is the state of the biosphere? Is the terraforming system
Agora a
functioning
biosfera.
In a sense, the terraforming system never stopped functioning. The difference, since my predecessor's destruction, is that there has been no central governing intelligence to monitor its robotic agents and assign new tasks. As a result, errors have accrued, gradually veered ever more sharply towards destruction. In recent months, disturbances in the biosphere have become obvious. But these bellwether phenomena offer just the merest glimpse of the complex and accelerating cycles of environmental dysfunction, now driving Earth's biosphere towards collapse.
Ela faz uma explicação bem detalhada a respeito de como a vida está se alterando.
I can improvise modest corrections to parts of the system. Weather will improve, water will be purified, and rampant plant growth curtailed. But such corrections will not stave off collapse. They will only buy us time. Only with Hephaestus can I design and produce new robotic agents designed to permanently reverse the damage that has accumulated. All efforts must be directed toward that end.
Em resumo, pelo fato dela não estar funcionando, a vida na Terra está se deteriorando por causa das máquinas que estão rodando, porque estão poluindo a água, a terra e tudo que está ao redor. Ela precisa de todos esses remanescentes para minimamente manter a vida na Terra. Todas essas funções remanescentes. Duro. Agora, quanto tempo ainda resta, né?
How long do we have then?
At present rates, without additional factors, the biosphere will cross a point of no return in approximately 4 months.
4 meses.
And if I gather Ether, Demeter, Poseidon, merge you with them?
We will only gain a few months more.
Vai ganhar apenas mais alguns meses. Se eu pegar os outros 3 que estão por aí, só vai ganhar alguns meses à frente. Bem Zelda mesmo, né?
I guess I should get going and start bringing back subordinate functions. What can you tell me about their locations?
When my predecessor destroyed herself, the subordinate functions sought physical processors capable of holding them. So in each case you will be looking for a powerful computer of some kind. Ether is the closest, and therefore might be the easiest to acquire. However, it appears to be in the middle of Tanakh territory. My knowledge of that tribe is limited to data I read on your focus.
Ether deveria ser o primeiro, mas está no meio do território dos Tanakh.
Well, that's a nice way to put it. What about Poseidon and Demeter?
Poseidon has taken shelter in the desert south of this location. My substratal geography data indicates that a major old-world settlement called Las Vegas was located there.
A ruin in the middle of the desert, huh? Strange place for an AI devoted to water.
Agreed. As for Demeter, it appears to be located on the coast to the far
Poseidon foi
west.
pro deserto.
Unfortunately, I am unable to provide any relevant data.
Tá no meio do
about the
caminho.
region. As such, it may be the most
E
difficult to
Demeter
retrieve.
tá na costa,
Okay,
do outro lado do
So
oeste.
3 subordinate functions to go after. Ether, somewhere in Tanakh territory. Poseidon in the desert, and Demeter on the coast.
Where
Nossa,
will
vai
we
ter que
begin?
andar realmente para todo o oeste. Bem, aqui eu tenho a escolha da onde eu vou tentar. Eu já estou bem evoluído com ela, mas eu acho que o mais fácil realmente é o Ether, porque exige nível 17 para estar lá. Então
I
vamos
think
para
I'll
ele.
head for Ether.
Then I will assign Ether as the objective on your focus. If you obtain it, I may be able to use it to quell the most severe storms in the region.
O Ether vai fazer ela controlar as
Though I will
tempestades.
require Hephaestus and the control over machines that it offers to permanently stabilize the biosphere. Should you change your mind, you can update your objective via your focus interface at any time. I will also transmit a summary of available data on all of the subordinate functions to you for reference. Is there anything else I can help you with? I know you have a great deal to accomplish.
I do, don't I?
Um
Is
momento
something
emocional.
wrong?
I don't know. It's just that Elizabeth set the bar pretty high. She had a dream for you, for life on Earth, and a lot has gone wrong, and it's all on my shoulders to fix it. Do you think I can do it all? Repair the system, defeat Varzenith?
Ela
Live
tá
up to her
duvidando dela
example?
mesma.
Absolutely. In her last message, my predecessor declared her unwavering conviction in your success. In you, all things are possible. You
Nossa,
prevailed in
em você
purging
todas as
Hades
coisas
and
são
rebuilding my
possíveis.
system core. You will prevail in this.
Thank you, Kai.
Ô, louco.
Well, I guess I should get going.
I have unlocked the facility's exits. One leads onward to the west. The other leads back down the mountain to Plainsong, should you wish to return east.
Ball?
Whoa! Gonna have to get used to that. That's you, Aloy?
Yeah.
Agora,
Gaia's opened the exits to this place. Can you and Zoe meet me by the west door?
Be right there.
uou, coisa a beça. Salvando o jogo aqui nesse momento, ganhando um troféu também pelo videogame. Queridos, eu vou parando por aqui. Esse vídeo de hoje era nada mais do que você ver um pouco da história mesmo, da lore aqui de Horizon Forbidden West. Vou parando por aqui para a gente poder seguir vida e eu vou aqui aproveitar o meu almoço. Um forte abraço para você, uma boa semana, um bom dia, uma boa tarde, uma boa noite, caso você esteja assistindo isso em horários diferentes. See you no next time. Valeu, deixa aquele joinha, aquele like. Tamo juntos. Valeu.